fanatics, bro.
They
They
do.
will ride to the end of time. It's almost admirable to a point. Like
Yeah.
they just blindly, like you could put the facts in their face. And like I said, look, we give whoever doing right, we give them props. If they're doing stupid stuff, man, then
Yeah.
hey, you got to call it out. But with this whole FTC thing, this is my question, right? If this deal goes through or not, like what is the big fuss? Like what at the end of the day, I don't essentially see this really like, well, it's going to change a lot of things, but I've said it before. I believe PlayStation will be just fine. Like I just don't maybe cuz maybe I'm not a businessman, maybe I don't see the whole picture,
Hmm.
but I'm like, Sony, you have a good thing going. Like why are we harping on this so hard? Like I don't know,
I
man.
think in the short term they will be fine, right? But
Yeah.
I want you to think about something, right? Activision has some of the largest multiplayer franchises, period, right? In terms of
Mhm.
revenue, in terms of sales, in terms of popularity, you look at Diablo 4, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty,
Oh, they
and
do got Diablo 4.
you think
Ooh.
about all these large franchises. Sony, for most of the PlayStation 4 generation, their first party studios focused on making single player experiences. While those games are great, they're masterpieces. They have a point where people stop playing, which is why if you look at some of the moves that Sony has been making over the last couple of years, acquiring Bungie, trying to, they're investing a lot in live service games right now because they're trying to sustain the business as it continues to grow. So in their mind, you know, they're a couple years behind Microsoft in that. Microsoft has
So
done
they want games that's everlasting and that's gonna continue to
they
create
want to
revenue
continue that sustained revenue because the cost of games is it's going up
going up.
exponentially every year. Even Matt Booty, the head of I think he's like head of Xbox Publishing or something, but he works closely with Phil Spencer. During the interview during Summer Games Fest, he even mentioned it. The time that it takes to make AAA games is only getting bigger and bigger. It used to be 3 to 4 years. Now it's like 5 plus where it takes to. I mean, you can see that, right? Like, look at
Exactly.
just like you
Yeah.
mentioned, Rockstar. The last game they made was Red Dead Redemption 2. That was 2018. It's been 5 years already, and we still
Mhm.
haven't seen anything from GTA 6. Like
Mhm.
besides like a piece of concept art. So it's getting more and more expensive, more complicated for them to make games, and so for them to sustain their business, live service is a great way to do that. I mean,
True. Okay.
so
Word. So they
they're
trying
not
to weasel
necessarily
their way.
afraid of them owning Call of Duty or the potential revenue loss for them because they would have to deal with Microsoft at that point, right?
Mhm.
Instead of there was even something during the case where Phil Spencer mentioned that they almost lost Call of Duty to Xbox. They had to renegotiate revenue share with Activision, or Activision was going to pull it from Xbox, which
Ooh.
I thought was interesting. So, those types of things, and this is why I'm glad you guys are here, because you guys are just like W said, he never really saw that, but a lot of people don't know this stuff is going on. I just think it's really interesting to talk about. Besides, hey, I played this game for 2 hours this week, blah 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 blah. I think this stuff is interesting and it's important to talk about because as consumers, I think it's important to be informed about the things that you want to buy and you want to purchase.
Right.
Price of Game Pass is going up. I told y'all that was gonna happen.
Mm.
Told y'all that shit was gonna happen when they
Last
start
year he
releasing
said it.
video. I've been telling y'all for a long time. Xbox is raising the price of their consoles outside of a lot of markets. The U.S. It's gonna happen eventually for the U.S. and for PlayStation and Xbox. Like
And
it's
people are gonna be mad as hell,
yeah.
but then they'll buy it.
The price of this stuff, like while we love gaming, let's not forget, guys, it is a luxury. A luxury that a lot of people don't have the ability to participate in. But it sucks. Inflation sucks. It all sucks. But these are things that I want you guys to think about. Like they're trying to sustain their business. That's why you see a lot of companies jumping into like this live service format. Hey, we have a plan. We have a battle pass that we're gonna we want you guys to see and be excited about. That we're gonna support this game. Here's what you would get over the next year if you purchase this. which is part of the reason why I honestly stopped playing Destiny, because I felt like,
Oh, they said
you know,
Destiny turned into a monetization
it,
pit
it
from
has,
hell.
it really has, in the sense like,